Hey there, what's happening? I wanted to do this a couple of days ago, and I'm going to do it today. And let me know if you log on. Is the music too loud? Is it too loud? What needs to be worked out? Again, I'm asking anybody who come on, just text me and let me know, or whatever y'all call this thing on this Facebook thing. Is the music too loud? Can you hear it? Hold on, here it comes. Is the music too loud? Can you hear it? Let me try to turn it up. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear my music? Yes or no? Give me something, Melissa Smith. I can't hear the music. Thank you. How about now? I love this. There you go. That should do it. Is that too loud? Because thank you and bless you for being the first one on here. So Melissa, let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm just going to talk about some things that's been on my heart, and that is to talk about misogyny and misogyny and her misogyny with mysteries or mysteries. It'll make sense as I move forward. What is happening right now is a wake-up moment. And often what a woman needs, and this is dedicated to my granddaughter. She's 4 now. And Zuri, which means beautiful in Swahili. Zuri girl, beautiful girl. Zuri woman, beautiful woman. Zuri sister, beautiful sister. And I want to be an advocate. I want to speak on some things that I've learned over the years. I have been happily married 27 years in a row, and to a girl named Jill. And I've learned a lot when it comes to being with a strong woman. I've learned a lot when it comes to, I gotta turn this down a little bit. I've learned a lot when it comes to how to love a beautifully strong, compassionate woman. I know how to love an angry woman. But now what I'm going to talk about is this wake-up call that every woman, every girl must go through if they're going to get past some of the things that's going on in their life. So let me go ahead and jump right into it. One, you need an Elijah moment. If you look at ancient scriptures, you'll find out that Elijah prayed, open his eyes so that he could see. And when Elijah prayed that, Elisha opened his eyes and he was able to see that there are more with us than they are with them. And I want you to understand, I don't care if you feel that you're being outnumbered by male men or you're outnumbered by this male chauvinistic society. I want you to understand you are an angel. And it'll make sense as we keep going. And there are more with you than are with them. Not to say ain't nobody with them, but you got some things going on with you. And so my prayer is that your eyes will be open. And even you, brother, if you're listening, that your eyes would be open and that you would be able to respect and understand what misogyny goes through. And I call her misogyny because, unfortunately, she ends up taking on the very mess that was put on her. And so let's just deal with this one a little bit at a time. I'm a firm believer that you can be raised in an insane situation, but then regain your sanity by regaining yourself. And so what you need is a mentor. I'm looking for my water. What you need is a mentor. And what does a mentor do? A mentor gives you the ability to cross over a threshold into the unknown. I thank you for whatever those little things that floated up on the screen. The mentor, male, female, whatever, is a supernatural aid. Someone who has been to where you're trying to go and back. Why is my heart so connected with the female heart? One, God created us with both sides, you know. I like to take the word gay back because sometimes I feel gay, and gay is happy. And so I'm not ashamed of saying I'm happy right now. I'm happy. I'm gay right now when it comes to this moment that we're experiencing on this earth. Yes, I'm happy, man, because I have fought this battle for a long time so that the sister, the woman, would find her respect. And so it's happening. And this is just my drop in the bucket on what's going on. And so I wrote this several years ago. It comes from the woman's journey, the grind that she's on. And it comes from Wildflower, which I'm believing I'm getting ready to do in the very near future. So I done given you all the intro. Let me say what needs to happen, and then we'll go by this. Open our eyes of faith. I'm praying that your eyes of faith will open and you'll be able to see past whatever you're going through right now. Because whatever you're going through there's a message in the madness. Now, if you're going to get promoted, you're going to have to raise up. In other words, if you're going to get promoted from the drama, if you're going to get promoted from the things that are going on in your life, you're going to have to raise up. And you're going to have to rise up into a consciousness, a higher consciousness than what you are in right now. Unless something new is thought out and unless something new is done, then you can't produce anything new. I love this where it says they got beauty for ashes. This is Isaiah 61:3. To console those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes. And so my goal is to console you, those of you who mourn. Hey man, this is epidemic. Sister, this is epidemic that you can't find a man that's going to be faithful. And if you do find a man, that his mind is gone. And if your father is there, that, you know, as much as he wants to be there, and I'm not saying all men, but we are the epidemic proportions as many available women out there. And I ain't just talking about black, I'm just talking about everybody, because a male is a male is a male is a male, be it black, white, Indian, you name it, Mexican, Latino. We are all simple in our own kind of ways. And so now I'm hoping that you are able to receive through what I'm saying as a mentor, beauty for your ashes, beauty for your betrayal, beauty for what you've gone through, beauty for your wounded parts. Let's begin the healing. There comes a time, Zuri, in a woman's life and in a girl's life that she has to stop running from fear. She has to stop running from insecurity. And she has to stop and speak truth, her truth, to the pain that she's experiencing. And so what I'm trying to say, Zuri, is this. There's going to come a time in your life where you're going to be so happy, but at the same time, you're going to be experiencing pain in your relationships, in your mind, and all these different things. And you've got to speak truth to it. And when I say speak truth to it, you got to make a decision that you're not going to take flight, that you're not going to fight, and you're not going to get caught up in regrets. Don't ever tell yourself, I should have known better. Because if no one taught you, the only way you learn is through the road of trials and error and suffering. And so I don't want you to be ashamed, Zuri woman, Zuri girl, of the pain that you experience. And here's a mantra that I learned from Mimi, your grandmother. Feel your feelings and think your thoughts. Feel your feelings and think your thoughts. And it's going to make sense as we keep going. Feel your feelings and think your thoughts. And the reason I tell you that, because when you feel your feelings and think your thoughts, there's a saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so I believe that there are some of you all who are listening and who will watch this rebroadcast and realize that you are ready to go to another level. There comes a time in everyone's life, and I'll just talk about her life, that she recognizes that there's a pattern that she's unable to break, but there's a pattern that she's engaged in that continues to bring her pain and heartache. Why? Is because she lacks the education or the discernment to figure it out. And oftentimes, if you've grown up without a father, and if you've grown out without a dad to give you some of this wisdom, then you're going to make a whole lot of trial and error mistakes, and then you're going to put it on yourself. And so get rid of all that and let's just start afresh. And so when I say you lack discernment, you're going to have to come to the realization that you need someone outside yourself with a higher level of reasoning to help you with your reasoning. Find a spiritual mother. Find somebody who speaks the truth, not to hurt, but to help you. Find somebody who is always going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. And once again, he prayed, open the servant's eyes. And when the servant's eyes was open, he saw that there were chariots all open. Open her eyes of faith. Why? Because why would I ask you to open your eyes of faith? Because many of the things that you've gone through in this male-dominated world has really caused you to become suspicious. And not have eyes of faith that believe in possibility, but you're very suspicious of the motives of people, and you have a right to be, especially of people who are expressing interest in you. And that suspicion manifests itself through the possibility of danger or fear. And so when your eyes are open, you can see that even though you may be hurt and going through, there's a supernatural protection all around you. When you cross into the unknown and you decide that you are no longer going to be shut down by setbacks, which I learned from my friend Willie Jolly. That's a great book, Setbacks, how to come back from a setback. I can't remember what it is right now. But when you go on this road of trials, you learn things. And the purpose of going through the pain is to get the message out the pain. So what I'm going to tell you is stop rehearsing how much you're hurt and start rehearsing, what are you trying to tell me, universe? What are you saying to me? Before you get out and go all on social media and try to put all your problems out, sit down and be still and gather yourself. Love will fight for you if you fall in love with love. Not with your love, but with love. Love will help you and fight for you. You only have to be silent. See, I learned in my own life, I was talking too much. I had to lower my voice. Sometimes you think you know something, but you don't know anything at all. Come on, he's going somewhere. I had to learn, and I want you to learn, Zuri, and I want any sister that's listening. All the pain you went through, the tests, the persecutions, the trials, the being talked about, the being betrayed. You met enemies, you had victories. All of these things were a matter of you learning how to break out of an illusion that you're living in. And oftentimes, on your path of trying to become whole, you will have shapeshifters enter your space. And these are people in my community, they call them two-faced. You know, one day they'll be like this, and one day they'll be like that. And many of you all, unfortunately, have fallen in love with a passive-aggressive man. A man who is passive but also aggressive, and you can never call him on it. I'll deal with that at another series. The illusions that you are in causes you to have a life of avoidance. I'm going to challenge you. Stop following all these trends. Trend wins. Stop following all these different trends and I'm going to clap back. Do you understand that that's nothing but revenge? I'm clapping back. Clap back. That is a simple way of saying, I am going to take revenge. I am on get back. Do you know the wisest person is the one who can overlook an insult? The wisest sister is the one who can overlook an insult and take the high road. Now, why am I telling you don't clap back? Because every time you clap back and every time you take revenge, the issue never ends. Because the wound stays open in your soul. Because revenge, as satisfying as it may feel at the moment, never satisfies. Stop trying to hurt him so he can feel how he hurt you. Be still and figure out how you got hurt and get yourself healed. Come out of this quad of deception. Do you know why you're drained all the time? Because you spend a lot of your energy on unnecessary things, unnecessary conversation. You got to ask yourself when you're having this conversation, should I be having this conversation? Now, I'm going somewhere because I'm trying to get you to understand that you can rise above this, but the way you are shaped right now has a lot to do with a woman living in what they call a man's world. Well, we getting there. So, if you're thirsty, he says, if you're thirsty, come to me and drink. But if you're thirsty, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up chasing trends so that you can fill that void, that hole in your soul. I just saw my pen here. This is the pen from my Nana who passed this year. And it says love. And my Nana was one of the most powerful ministers I've ever met. And I done took on her anointing. I'm holding my mother-in-law's bracelet, Barbara Ann. I'm holding this. She passed in 2010. These were strong women who got themselves together. I'm dedicating whatever I do to, what's her name on my daggone thing? Annette Turner. We got a bench in our yard that has my mother's name, Barbara Powell, and Annette Turner in memory of, because these women, they came from someplace and their lives were totally transformed and changed. And so hopefully I can put that power, help you to switch up. And so if you're chasing trends, you don't find your purpose. And like Jill's getting ready to do on this funky pajama party that's taking place in October, she's going to do an authentic woman so you can find out your why and why you do what you do. I hope I'm blessing you. Send me some hearts or something because I'm used to seeing audience, so I don't know if this is making any sense, but I'm going to keep going. April Branch, how you doing? Is watching. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right. Say this. Being out of position puts me in the company of scorpions. Say it out loud. Say it. Being out of position puts me in the company of scorpions who must sting and wolves who must hurt. And so when you're out of position and you're not on the path that you're supposed to be on, and you're on an illusion or a path that's trying to make you happy instead of trying to find the happiness within, it's going to put you in the company of scorpions that must sting and wolves that must hunt and betray. It was hard for me to believe that people would use me. When you're a giver, you give the best that you got. And then when you get betrayed or you get used, it's hard to accept that you didn't see it, but you were in an illusion. So therefore, stay away from shapeshifters. As, what's her name? Oh my goodness, what is her name? The poet, Why the Cage Bird Sings. What is her name? Somebody send me her name. I can't think of it. She wrote Why the Cage Bird Sings, and she says, when the person introduces themselves to you the first time, believe them. I'm having a memory crisis. Somebody will text it and I'll say her name. But I want you to understand, if they show you that they ain't right in the very beginning, they're going to show you for the rest of your life. They've introduced you to who they are. When you meet them, believe them on the first time. Are we getting there? We're talking about misogyny. See, on this thing, this battle, you have met tricksters. You have met villains. And the aftermath of being hurt and betrayed by someone you thought you were committed to, or who was committed to you, be it a father, be it a parent, be it a brother, be it a friend, whatever the case happens, you're going to end up with confusion, doubt, disbelief, and depression. Say this with me. The goal of a shapeshifter is to dazzle me and confuse me with happiness. Can I say it again? The trick of the trade, when I'm trying to get into your world, and my character is not fully built on true character, I learn how to put on the front, and my goal is to dazzle you with happiness. And once I can dazzle you with happiness, simultaneously deceiving you so that you don't even understand I am trying to survive. You know, girl, let me tell you something. You the best thing that ever happened to me. You done made me a better man. No. Yeah, she can make you a better man, but you need to be a better man before you get with her. Or if you want to stay with her, become a better man. I'm almost there. And so now, soul change pain. Soul change what? Pain. Betrayal causes your soul to go through pain that will cause you to change. Maya Angelou, that was that woman's name. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Maya Angelou. Thank you. Allow the pain, Zuri, to give you strength to do something about it. You can either sit there like I used to do. At one point, I was so stressed out by my life and just everything. I was up to 378 pounds. I lost this weight by going on a raw diet. I lost this weight by going strictly vegetarian. Why? Because I had to allow the pain to speak to me, because food became love for me. And sometimes shopping can become love for you. Sometimes surfing the internet and doing all your things can become love for you, and they become substitutes. I'm almost there. Let me get down to what I wanted to talk to you. I don't know how I even got there. There's such thing called the force of betrayal. If you're going to be healed, you must experience all the emotions you've been running from. You must not be afraid of your own feelings within. If you're going to be healed, stop running from that. Don't be in agreement with distractions, because it'll cause you to drift. Now I'm going to get into why I did this. This is what I wanted to share. She wanted a man, but she didn't understand the underlying male current that was set against her since birth. Listen to me, young lady. Listen to me, experienced woman. Listen to me, excuse me, Zuri woman. She wanted a man, but she did not understand the underlying male current, meaning there's a frequency, a current that's been going on since you were born. Her empowerment is always some male's enemy. I'm going to say it again. Sister, whenever you find your empowerment or you find your freedom, somebody's going to lose control. I learned that from my wife. And so you must always understand, every time you are elevated, every time you go to another level, your empowerment is a male's enemy. When a woman truly understands her worth, her world changes from. And this is what's happening right now in this world. When women finally get to the point that they understand their worth, their world changes from tolerance to not settling for anything less than what she knows she deserves. Can I say this again? You got to get to a point where you are not just tolerating mediocrity. You've got to get to the point where you're not just tolerating settling for things less than what you know you deserve. And sometimes you can become so lonely that you'll settle because you just want to be held or you want a company. But you got to not settle for that, especially when you know you deserve better. I hope I'm talking to somebody. Know this: if your empowerment is always a male's enemy, you must also understand a male's enemy is often his mindset. I'm going to say this again. If your empowerment, listen, when my wife began to say she was taking her life back, and if you get a chance, look at our thing on Change the Rules. When my wife began to say she was taking her life back, I turned around and looked to try to figure out who she was taking it back from. Because as she became more freer, I lost my level of control and influence over things that I didn't need to have say so in the first place. And so I want you to understand, if your empowerment is his enemy, you must understand that a male's enemy is often his mindset. It ain't you. Sometimes you take it personally, the foolish things we say and do, but it's because we have weak minds or childish minds. When I was a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child, I act like a child. But when I became a man, a man's man, things changed. And the only way to become a man is you've got to tell the little boy in you to listen to his brother within you. And let that brother listen to the father in you. And let the father talk to the son that is in you and instruct you by way of the universal father, so that you can become the man that you need to be. Because I want you to understand, when a sister lets you in her life, she's saying that you're taking some pain away from me. But once you begin to trip out and keep up your childish ways, she hides a lot of tears behind those smiles. In other words, brother, I'm asking you not to be biological. Because, sister, I want you to understand what we got happening right now, even in this world, is that a biological male, and let me just go down to it so I explain, is a person who is defined by their genitals. When you are first born, you are a biological male, and maleness has one need. Biological maleness, when you are just your body, it is driven by the relief of tension. This is why he's trying to do it all the time. This is why we try to do it all the time. Sex relieves tension, and sometimes he's finding his relief in your vagina. I'm sorry, I'm telling you the truth. And that relief, I'm not telling you that it's bad, but I'm also telling you this. Sometimes it's a relief of urges and you think it's love. Love is when he can touch you and it don't be sex. Love is when he can make love to your mind by taking out the trash, doing the dishes, washing the clothes, and not expecting you to notice anything that he's done. I had to get to a point, my friend, when you loving this woman, that you got to be able just to love her as she is, her hurt and her pain, and accept what she's going through and understand she ain't gonna always want to have sex. That's why I always tell people, listen, man, you better stop being pee-whipped, because sometimes she's got to go through what she got to go through. And I know I told y'all that point where I realized at some point I should have never came into this women's conference when my wife was teaching, and she said sometimes I'll do it, but I'd be singing praise songs in my head while we doing it. I was so crushed. I was like, what the hell did you come in this room for? But then I realized, guess what? I don't care. And if she don't feel like doing it, but she gonna do it because she wants me, and she says, okay, if that's what you want to do. I used to say I was immature. What praise song you getting ready to sing? Right now, I don't care. You can sing whatever praise song you want to sing, as long as I can praise God when this thing is over. All right, I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm gonna go to the next thing. Misogyny equals his insecurities. Misogyny equals his insecurities. And when you break misogyny down, it means I hate. Miso means I hate. Juni, J-U-N-E. We're talking Greek, which means woman. I hate woman. I hate women. And so misogyny is often, and I'm just going to say it, his hate for women. His hate for being cut off. His hate for not being able to get his way. Misogyny is when you deal with women from the perspective of hate, and you want to grab them by the, oh, stop that, shut up, Duran. Let me go to my next thing. Good woman, know yourself. Know thyself. Know your why. Know who you are. You're going through, but the reason you're going through because it's giving birth to the new you. Go ahead and be reborn. Find your authentic self. And once you find your authentic self, then you will begin to live. Come out of the illusion. All right, I'm getting a little tired now, but let me just say this. No more being paralyzed by your own emotions. Stop being afraid to feel. Feel your feelings, think your thoughts. And guess what? Here's what I told my daughter. Live your life, girl. Do what you gotta do. Become the best you can be. That way, when you get older, you'll be able to buy 100% juice, and you won't have to always be relying on Kool-Aid. And she's a doctor now. She's taking care of me. I thank God. I hope this blessed you. If you can send me a few little notes or something. This is a little something in the spirit. My wife is going to start joining me soon. I'm just testing out the market, trying to figure out, is there a need for what I'm talking about right now? Is there a need? And is this helping? Share it with somebody. I don't know what it does, but guess what? I love you. And I beat you to it. I love you. And I beat you to it. God bless you. This is Duran Cloud. They call me Jehu Phoenix sometimes, because you know what happened? I used to be some kind of other brother, but I've risen from the ashes. When you see these red glasses, no, this ain't got nothing to do with style. This is when I began to read that the words of Yeshua were in red. And in order to change my mouth, I had to change the way I was seeing. And I'm not looking out of rose-colored glasses. I'm looking out of truth. And I said the only way I'm going to change my mind is to wear these red glasses. And remember, Duran, it ain't about shocking people. It's about setting people free. I declare today that you've been set free of some kind of generational thing that's been shutting you down. Let me tell you why I do this. Every time I feel down with this cancer battle I'm going through, every time I feel a little down or whatever, I am going to give. Why? Because God refreshes those who refreshes others. I love you. God bless you.